we'll get going and everyone else can catch up. So hello all and welcome to another webinar. I had the opportunity to see myself and Daniela cover a couple of webinars this year, I think, sort of starting January time. And now we're both here just to answer a couple of questions for you all. We've recently done the webinars for goals and analytics, configuration practices, and also a new Users 101 webinar as well, sort of aiming to get new staff off to a running start within the CRM. And then we've got one final webinar coming up after this one to sort of round up series 2, which will go over some of the key bits and pieces. In the middle of processing and planning for season 3. So if anyone has any suggestions, you can either go to the webinar page on our website and suggest on there, or get in contact with one of us, or throw it in the chat at the end, Q&A or something. Really keen to get any ideas on what you're looking to have covered, so we can obviously help you guys get more out of the system. Quick bit about me, who we haven't met before. My name is Alex. I've been at the company now for nearly 6 years, so hopefully I've got enough experience for today's session. And my colleague Daniela as well. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here today. My name is Daniela, and I've been part of the Access Group for the past 10 months, and working on Prospect has been a wonderful journey. I've learned so much about the system. I'm also excited to be presenting alongside Alex in today's webinar. We're looking forward to sharing some insightful tips with all of you, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So yeah, Daniela obviously, like you said, joined 10 months ago. We've got new sort of people joining the CSM team. I think about a month away now, and then also getting some more coverage over APAC within our expanding team, especially now we're sort of rolling out those customer success plans as well. So bit of an agenda for today. So today's session, we're going to be looking at 20 tips to help you get more out of prospect. I think it actually ended up being about 22 in the end, but either way, we'll cover tools we have that are not only designed to get the best out of you, out of prospect for you, but also some of the CRM features that drive growth within your organization as well. Prospect as a tool is obviously designed for a whole array of purposes, from the classic sort of customer relationship side of things to all the way of in-depth analysis to customers, email marketing assistance, and a bit and pieces like that. So we'll aim to keep this within 30 minutes, so we don't hold you hostage all afternoon, and then leave a bit of Q&A time at the end as always as well. So a couple of key takeaways from today's session. So we're going to be looking at what we mean by putting the R in CRM, so the relationship side of things, and some tips on how we can focus and get that key information subject to the sort of customer's health and the relationship you're building, looking at items like the activity note, record management, and storing communications as well, just so you're really building that relationship with your customers. Sort of a boosting into your efficiency, so what features and tips can help you in your day-to-day, just little things that just make things that a little bit easier, a little bit faster, and then feature discovery as well. So if anything comes out of today's sort of session, we'd really like for you to just take away one feature that we mentioned today, something you're not using, something you can share with colleagues, and then hopefully you'll be able to just implement that into your organization and what you do with the day-to-day on the CRM. So nice and short introduction today. We're going to go straight into the demo profile. This is our That's My Jam profile. Probably all familiar with this at this point, but I'm going to introduce it anyway. It's a fictional company selling sort of jam and jam machines and products and such like that from stock in a warehouse, which I'm sure is sort of relatable for many of you out there today. So to get us started, we've got Daniela with a couple of points, and then we'll sort of tag in, tag out with a couple of things we're going to demo today as well. So over to you.
Yes, thank you, Alex. So the first thing we're going to show you is how to mention and share records in the CRM. And I'm just going to choose a company. Let's just choose my company, Daniela's Bakery, right here. And basically, you can easily mention someone by going to activity. And this can either be done on a company, contact, opportunity, or a problem. Sorry. So just click on the activity right here. And using the add button, I can, and this is going to show you all of the users that are now in the CRM, and you can choose a user right here. I'm going to choose a user, and you you can tag it. You can mention multiple people at the same time, like I'm doing right now. Maybe I want to add Adila as well and Amber, and just put a note like, can someone reach out to this customer, for example? Oh, sorry for the typos. Uh, right here. Reach out. Just this is just as an example.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much on that.
Yeah.
My face cut.
Anyway, just click on post, and this will send them an email in which they will be notified so that they can take action in the CRM. So Alex, you will receive probably an email right now. And another way you could do this is by clicking on the share icon right here, right here. And again, I can select users and I can type in a message, please reach out to customer, for example. And then just click on share. And that's it. Very easy. This will send them an email and they can come and have a look at this.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I will do the next few. So first one I wanted to show is related, which is basically a relationship between either sort of contacts. It can be between problems or a problem to another contact or something like that, or even to companies. And what the related allows you to do is essentially just link those two items together that might not necessarily be under one another. Could be a consultant working for a company. They have their own contact record somewhere else in the CRM, and you want to relate it to, in this case, Daniela's Bakery. So, or anywhere like that. So we've got this left-hand side, the related tab just here, and then the little plus on the right-hand side. You can configure different types. I'll show you really quickly. It's nice and easy. You can have, so we've got some set up. I might want a relationship of contact to company. And then it's going from a contact to a company. More about too much on the reserved description, gives you a bit of an idea as to who it is. So we've got project to architect or something like that. So we could have consultant, and then you can ignore the code. So we can make this one, and that gives me now the opportunity to link a contact to that company. Go back to our company here. Let's put Daniela's Bakery. Go to the plus icon. Got that consultant, and we're going from Daniela's Bakery, and I can then go and search for someone else. So we've got Danny Dyer, consultant for projects X or something like that. So just again, just Danny Dyer might work for another organization entirely, doesn't work for Daniela's Bakery, but by relating that, you know there's a link there. So it's a nice, easy way of managing that. The other benefit of doing that is once you've related someone, they do appear in sort of emails. So if you're making an email and you're to someone at Daniela's Bakery, you can then CC in Danny without having to go find his email address. Another quick one to show you just above on that left-hand side is this nearby. So just a nice easy one for the guys on the road, just a simple report that looks at the postcode for this company and then gives you a search radius around. So if you guys have got reps in the field, or maybe you're just doing a one-off visit and you want to get the most out of the journey, you can actually just use this postcode, throw in a distance of miles, give it a search, and it will show you which customer postcodes also sit within that location if you wanted to visit as well. We've also got tagging, which is a nice feature, really, really useful for reporting. So we have ability to set tags and using these three little dots and then set tag. You can set tags on, again, company or contacts and such like that. And we've got a few tags in here already for strawberry and blueberry jam, sticking with our theme. So the sort of approach for using tags in this case was maybe what products they're buying. You could also have what region they're in, or use it for what sort of tier the customer is. If you have sort of a bronze, silver, gold based on your relationship with them, you can configure all sort of different types of tags and give them color codes and such like that. Once you've got them configured, you set a tag, put on these, and they appear in this top corner just up here. So I know at sort of a quick glance, Daniella's Bakery buy both strawberry and blueberry jam in this example. Again, really useful for reporting. So once you go and make a report, you can filter on those tags and maybe just drill down to customers who only purchase these two items in this case. And the last one before I hand back over to Daniela is the search terms. So search terms, just this little window here, it just helps you find items in the CRM if maybe they've got an abbreviation or a term that might not be the full name. So in this case, we've got Daniela's Bakery. If we just call it DB or something like that, maybe that's what they refer to as, and you use that in correspondence, you can use that. You spelled that wrong, right? Hilariously. DB. So if I now search for DB, instead of having to search for Daniela's Bakery, you should then get that result back instead. So just a bit of an abbreviation, or if you have other terms you can use for finding that record. And I will pass over to you again, Daniela, for the next ones.
Yeah, sure. So now I'm going to show you, let me go back to the Daniela's Bakery right here, because I actually want to show you how to pin notes and mark notes as important. As this might come in handy during your daily operations, this feature is particularly useful for keeping critical information accessible and top of mind. When having multiple tasks, this can really enhance your productivity and organization. So I'm going, again, on the activity right here, I'm going to type in a note like this customer has a different time zone. Our 5 p.m. is their 9 a.m., let's just say. So this would be an important note. And I'm going to post it. And I want to make it important. And I can do so by clicking on this icon right here. And you can also pin them to the top by clicking right here on the pin. And basically, this is the note you see first in the activity. Even if you keep adding notes or emails, as it will get buried in the down, you will also you will be able to see this one first. You can also filter notes by clicking on the filter icon right here. If you would only want to see notes with a certain activity or tag or importance, you can set that in here. Maybe I just want to see notes. And basically these are the notes. I did put the filter on. I don't have any tags here, but yeah, you can also, if you want to remove the filter, all you have to do is click right here and it will remove the filter. Now I'm going to show you, if you want a note to be seen by everyone, you can create it as an urgent message. And I'm going to show you how to do that right here. For example, like this customer would like to opt out of email marketing. So type in the note, but instead of just clicking post like I just did right here, you are going to see this little arrow to the side and you can mark it as urgent like I'm doing right now. And you can even choose a date. Let's just keep it for today. Sorry, on May. And what date is this day? This is the 5th. Just put it like this. And I'm going to click on post. And I'm going to refresh. Because once you refresh this record, you will get a message at the top of the screen, as you can see it right here. And if I, for example, go to contact, I'm looking for a specific contact, or if I'm going anywhere within the CRM, I actually should be able to see the message, the urgent message right here, as you can see it right now. And this obviously comes in handy and because it shows up. Now I'm going to show you how to pin documents. Let me go again to Daniela's Bakery. I have an opportunity right here. And if I go to bread machine, and I can see a lot of documents right here. So very similar to the notes, if you have a lot of documents on a company, you have the possibility to pin it to the top and mark it as important by clicking on this flag right here. This is how you make it important. And if I just hover my mouse, I can even pin a document and it will show up on the top, just like I did it right now. Now I'm going to show you how to add additional numbers and email addresses to a contact, like for example, with this contact, Chris Davis. Let's just say that you just found out that they have another phone number. You can easily add it by going right here on the contact details and clicking on the plus button right here. And if you do so, it will straight take you to the communication page, as you can see here. And right here, you can start adding additional number by clicking on the plus icon right here. And let's just say I want to add like he has another business, like a second business number. Put in the number right here. And you can even choose the type. And this is the second business number. Maybe it's a car phone, but for me, this goes well. And I'm going to create it. And there we have it. We have it right here. We can also add an additional email just by clicking on the plus right here, just like I did with the phone number, and click create. And if they have, we can also add social links by clicking on the plus button right here. Let's just say they have like a LinkedIn profile. You can even choose the type. It's a LinkedIn. And here you can basically put the link to the LinkedIn profile and then just click create, and that's it. Back to you, Alex.
Perfect. Thank you. Just on those numbers as well. Once you've added sort of additional numbers on communication, they actually appear as a drop down over here. So you've
Oh, yeah.
got them like easily accessible as well. But no, thanks for that. I've got next up to sort of show some custom field works and how to use those in reports. So there are sort of plenty of scenarios for custom fields. What I mean is basically any of these fields you see here, whether it's a drop down or a date or something like that, you can sort of configure them and add your own to meet your own requirements as well. So you need to be an administrator for this bit, just because you're making a change to the sort of core system, but it will affect sort of everywhere once you've made the change. So up to the three little dots again, and we're going to customize. And then you pick a location on this page. So I'm going to have maybe something in company details, and you get to add a field. And there's sort of two different things you can do with this. You can either add an existing field. So these are all the things we have on company level, whether it's something that we maybe have on another page that you just want to bring to the front page, or something we don't have at all, and maybe you want to report on that or use a custom field. So there's plenty of options there. When it comes to custom fields, we go to add and scroll down to the custom field or drop down here. And we've got a few that we've made through the past. Add a new one, get greeted with this little window with the sort of type of field you're looking for. I'm going to set up a quick scenario, which we're then going to report on as well, where we maybe do an annual visit to this customer and talk on, I don't know, do services on jam machines or something. We've sold them. So if I add a date in here and add annual visit, close on that. I've now made that new field, annual visit, available. It's okay, and that's added down here. So you can preview. I'm just going to skip that stage and go straight to saving that in. And then if I give this a refresh, we've now got our annual visit date just appearing here. So if I then wanted to take this further and obviously report on this, if I saw them, I don't know, 5th of December 2023, you can then either make a new report from scratch or use this field in an existing report. So if I wanted to go to our existing company's report, for example, so I've made a company level change there, we've got these fields, which are the standard ones. I can then go to the select fields, go down to our company where we added our custom field, and explore custom fields to find our annual visit. Obviously, we've only just added that, so most of these are going to be blank, but what you can do is add a filter on this. Add a filter again, scroll down until you find that company custom field, annual visit. And because it's a date, you can do sort of a few bits with this. You can just say, give me everything in the last year, give me everything that's not set, give me everything today. So if I say, give me everything in the last 6 months, we've then got our Daniela's Bakery on here, who last had an annual visit on the 5th of December. Like I said, you can do that from scratch instead of making changes to the existing reports. You can go into more reports, all reports, and go straight into building one from scratch. That's absolutely fine as well. You'll end up with a very similar sort of report at the end. It might be nice to keep things separate like that. So should be a nice simple one. And I'll hand back to you, Daniela.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Now I'm going to show you. Let me just Now I'm going to show you what to do in case you have a company name in the CRM twice. So let's say that someone accidentally created a record for a customer that already exists in the CRM. Like if I'm searching, for example, for Daniela, right here, you can see it actually shows up twice. If I click on the first one, I can see that it has like a load of data right here. So I would go with this one. If I go back and click on the next one, basically I can only see a note in here. If I click on opportunities or on problems, there is nothing here. I can only see like a phone number. So what you would want to do here is actually merging these so that what is on the one that does not have any data, but like just a node, can go to the one that has all of the information. And you can easily do so by clicking on the three dots right here and choose merge company. And here you actually have to search for the company, and I'm going to search for the second company, which is Daniela's Bakery, is this one. So basically this will take you to this window that sort of shows you which one would be deleted, and it will point you towards the one that has more data in it. As you can see here, this one that will be retained has a lot more data. It also gives you options on what you would like to keep. Like for example, this one that I would like to be deleted has the phone number, but I actually want to keep it and merge it to the other company. So basically I'm happy with everything that I have here, and all you have to do is click merge. And it will move all of the stuff from this record to the one that has a lot more information, and just keep one record. Like it happened right here. Actually, I'm going to refresh the page. Another thing that I wanted to show you. So basically, let's just search for this company again because I want to show you Daniela. There we go. And now we only have one company. So this is perfect. Now, if you want to move records around in the CRM, I'm going to show you how to do that, because this can come in handy if you need to reassign a quote to a new contact, or you can make use of the move contact feature. So let's click on a record. Let's go to contacts right here. I'm going to show you how to do that. And let's click on Mark Evans. So for example, if a contact moves company and you want to move the contact to the new company whilst retaining all records, notes, and documents, let's just imagine that here on the activity, there are a lot of records and notes. All you have to do is click on the three dots over here and move contact. Click on move contact. And then I'm just looking for a company like Mary Mary. Let's just say that he's moving there. And a thing that you should know, if you click on this company, it will directly move the record with all of the information and notes to the chosen company. So this allows you to have like clean data without having to duplicate work. And let me just refresh it again so that I can show you. It doesn't show up right here in Daniela's Bakery. Mark Evans. But it will show up basically on the Mary Berry Limited, as you can see right here. Next to you, Alex.
Thank you. So I have next on my list to show external links. So I want to go across to a very specific record. Some of you might recognize, maybe Berry. So external links is essentially a way to allocate sort of links, whether it's a SharePoint link or a website link or something like that to a customer, potentially mostly where documents or something like that is stored. So the use case is mostly going to be SharePoint or Azure storage or something like that. So if I go across to sort of documents in here, you can add a new document, and instead of using sort of uploading something from your PC or using a template, you can create an external link. And again, you might have something for SharePoint or something like that. If it's a big file particularly, I've just grabbed a random website, which may or may not be related, and I can hit create there. That gives me a bit of a link. So if I go back to our contact here, I have an external link. You can rename that if you want to call it something different. And again, like Daniela covered earlier, you can pin this or flag it up if it's something important. The use case there, again, mostly SharePoint, so it's going to be something like that, or a SharePoint equivalent, obviously. The other sort of version of that is our knowledge base, where we would typically store either product information or terms and conditions, something like that, something more generic. And there's a couple of sort of bits and pieces we can use this feature for afterwards. So that's the library feature. The library is sort of designed to be very familiar in terms of your normal Windows File Explorer, sort of clicking around like that, where we've got the ability to create folders. Or the product specs, something like that. And then within those folders, you can make subfolders and expand them out like this. And then within those folders, obviously, you can go and put sort of product brochures or anything we just sort of mentioned earlier on as well. Obviously, you just drag them in or copy them in from your PC. The other thing you can then do is link these items to a product, which is sort of the next stage. If I go and find, I think our product already has one on here from the one I'm going to choose. So if I go and find a product, so 4-pack of blueberry jam, if you go down to the images and files, you can obviously got images, but you can link one of those files directly to this product, which is really useful for admin, but also comes on to the next stage. So if I've got product brochures and specifications, if I say this is product A specification, great. So that now has a direct link to this product, which is, again, useful from that sales perspective. If I need to get information on the phone, I'm speaking to a customer or something, and I could just go and look for the product, then find that brochure or spec sheet. The main use for this, though, is actually when you go and find one of your sort of quotes, and you can send this out and automatically attach them to quotes, which is really useful. We've just done some recent improvements on that as well. So if I go back to Mary Berry and have a look for some quotes, got a couple open here already that we made earlier. So I've got a couple of products, and some of these, a 3-pack of blueberry jam has a link already. So if I go and use one of our existing quote documents, so go over to our template, and I know our basic email quote has this. So we've got our sort of really basic email template, got our products in it, and it automatically links in. So the Jam Maker 2, this up here, Jam 2, has that file already linked to it. So it just sort of does that step for you. We can do this with documents as well. It's probably something we will cover on the Series 3 webinars, but if you wanted to know any sooner, please give us a shout. You can actually do this within Word documents and PDFs, where instead of it being underneath in the list, you still have that. That's absolutely fine. But you can have this one up here, chili jam, and then the next line being the associated files, or even another column over here for attached files and just give a link to those there. So there's a few different ways of implementing this, but the sort of short version of it is once you create those product structures within the library or structures to files, you can link those files to products, and those products files will automatically populate various templates just for convenience. That's it. I'll pass back to Daniela for the next one.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Alex. So let me close this one right here. Okay, let me go back to Daniela, my favorite contact. So basically, once you start reaching out to the customer and you want to have meetings with the customer, okay, there we go. Let me choose like a contact right here because I actually want to show you something. If I would reach out to this customer and I would discuss with him that I want to have a meeting, you could make use of the send appointment feature. So you can do so by clicking on the three dots right here and click on send appointment. And it will directly open an email in which you can create an appointment. And let's just say in the subject like meeting. And you can choose the date right here. Let's just put it to Friday. This is normally set to half an hour, but you can choose an hour, any hour that you would like. Okay, there we go. 3. Let's just keep it like this. Pop in a message. And then just hit invite, and they will receive an email with the link and they can add the meeting in their calendar. So it's just as simple as that. If you find out that a contact has left the company, you can simply click on that specific contact. So let's just say that Chris Davis is no longer with this company anymore. So basically what you would want to do is click on the three dots right here. You would probably want to use the delete button right here. If you click on it, for example, you can delete right here the contact, but normally we do not recommend this. We actually recommend either moving the record somewhere else or just, as I was saying right here, just put it as left company because basically it will retain all of the data for future use. And now all you have to do is refresh the page, and I will show you how it looks like once you put it as left company. There we go. This contact has left company. And if I go on Daniela's Bakery right here, and if I go to contacts, it will also show up in the status that this contact has left the company. And that's it from me, Alex.
Awesome. So the next one I've got to step away from this system for. We're going to just look at saved CRM.
Oh,
Which I'm hoping it's going to be open on my screen. There it is. So save CRM function, for those who don't know, just allows you to save either individual emails or entire email chains into essentially wherever you want within the CRM. So I've sent myself an email earlier and just threw it in a folder. And the Save CRM, if you want help installing this, throw in something in the live chat or get in contact with us. It's about a minute just to install. It's available in the App Store, so we can help with that. But once you've got it installed on either Outlook, desktop Outlook, or within Gmail, Outlook works by this four little squares over here with the apps, and then you've got the Save CRM icon just here. And it just allows you to open up. That logs me in based on my local sessions. You don't have to click anything. And then just gives me some suggestions on here, gives me some ability to find, so I can go and look for a contact called Alex. like something like that. And if I click this or whatever record you would like, I can hit save, and that takes the entire chain. In this case, obviously only one email, but it takes it into the CRM so I can go and find it and use it again in the future if I need to. So really good. There's a couple of different scenarios where that applies. Some people don't have any emails being saved in and they just want really important stuff. So a customer agreeing to a discount or a price or a deal or something like that. Other people, like myself, for example, every email that you guys ever send me is getting saved for future reference, just out of habit. So yeah, I just keep everything. So there's a couple of different scenarios there. There's also a few different ways of saving those emails. So the next one is the CRM inbox, which helps you sort of do this straight from your client as well for a slightly different means, basically CCing in an inbox. So if you got to the personal settings just up here, then scroll down to settings, you've actually got your CRM inbox, and it gives you a bit of a blurb on how to use it as well. You can save CRM, save emails into the CRM by either CCing or BCCing this email address. So if I was to get this and go back to my Outlook, and then I CC this in or BC this in, or BCC this in, if I send that email, automatically saves back here. So you don't obviously need to do that if you're sending emails from Prospect, which is ultimately what we would recommend. That automatically saves into Prospect. But in a scenario where you prefer to use your sort of outlooks and bits and pieces like that, you could either embed that into a template or just BCC or CC it in, and that'll do the saving for you. There is then also the general CRM inbox as well, which is, instead of a bit being a personal setting, we're going back down here to settings. So we've got system settings just here. So again, you will need to be an administrator if you're looking to set this up. And then what you're looking for, search inbox or something like that. The setting is called system document saving email address. So you can save emails into CRM directly into your inbox by BCCing or CCing these into your emails here. So this is a sort of a more generalistic one as well. And it goes through on how it saves. We have a document on this one if you want to learn a bit more, but it looks sort of within the header of the email for things that it might match on. It will look for an email address, for a contact, basically does a bit of working out and says, this email that you're trying to save, where should it go? Who's it from? Should I save this in, basically? And if it can't find any of those, it'll sort of make a new conversation chain. The last thing we were going to show you today, there already see a couple of questions, is the mobile app view, which obviously I can't show you what it looks like on I can't show you how to download the app just because I don't have a mobile phone to be able to share with you guys. I can, however, show you what it looks like. So if anyone wants Prospect on their phone, again, please reach out or just give the articles a search, because there is a whole article on how to download Prospect to your phone as an application. And then we sort of respond to that by changing into this app view. So it will look familiar. We get the same kind of data, but we start seeing sort of along the bottom with different search menus. We have your tasks and bits and pieces like that. And then as you start navigating around, you'll sort of see things changing just to match that screen and match that size. So the activity shrinks down and becomes more sort of narrow. The sort of follow-ups reorganize themselves to the bottom as opposed to being top right. So anyone needs help with that, please let us know. A few tabs at the top as well instead of that left-hand menu, just sort of utilizing that space. Jump back out of this view a sec. So that's it for the 20 or 22-ish tips that we've done today. Hopefully, like I said at the beginning, the key takeaway here was to sort of at least find one thing that you think you could use and share with your colleagues. That's sort of our main goal here today. I think that's it. So I'll just let Daniela summarize up and then we can do a Q&A.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Alex, so much. Basically, that's it from us, guys. We've covered, just as Alex says, some tips that we're confident we can help you become more efficient with Prospect. We have one more webinar in a few weeks' time highlighting some key elements from Series 2. We're planning on third series now, so if there's anything you would like to see, features you would like to learn more about, functionality you want to use better, please let us know. We can jump directly to the Q&A session. Let's see if we have any questions.
Yeah, so we've had before the session starts, you can
Yeah.
actually submit questions. We have had one or two questions submitted already. Some of those questions are quite in-depth answers that need a bit of back and forth. So we're going to skip those questions, but don't be offended. We'll come back sort of one-on-one later on today, if not tomorrow, and start going through those things with you if you need a bit of help. So we're going to sort of focus on the questions today that are useful for everyone, and also the sort of quicker answer things as well. So starting with the ones we had pre-registered, I hope my marketing campaigns results are shown. So I thought I'd really quickly show that one as well. So whenever you do email marketing through Prospect, so we have a whole webinar on this. So I won't sort of touch on this too much, but Prospect's job is to basically identify contacts, and then MailChimp or Klaviyo or Spotify, Gator Mail, they have the ability to then do that email marketing. Once a customer hopefully interacts with that email, clicks on links, opens it, etc., we have that information coming back on a contact level. So over here, we've got Sam Johnson, our contact. And if that's someone we've emailed recently, you'll see on this left-hand side, you've got MailChimp here, where in this case, they don't have any actions, but anything he's done with those emails or anything you've sent will appear in there. So hopefully that gives a sort of a bit of an answer for that question. And again, give us a search on YouTube and go find Prospects Off. We have a sort of a 45-minute webinar based on email marketing and results as well. Another one, the pre-registered one we have was sales reports with a date field option or a date range. So again, we have a whole webinar on reporting where we actually specifically cover sales history. So please go and have a look for that. But I can give you a really quick demo on that anyway, after we sort of did this earlier. But in regards to sales history, whether you want it on a company level or a sort of your whole organization, every sort of one of these customers have their own sales transaction pages. So if I go back to Mary Berry, for example, we have on this left-hand side the sales analysis, which is our sort of homegrown sales analysis for each customer, and every customer has one of these. It shows you sort of what they spend their money on, how often they order, bits and pieces like that. And then we have sales transactions, which is just line by line what this customer's bought, when they bought it, if it's been delivered, if it's been invoiced. So we can see up here, they bought some of the Jan, they ordered 30,000 units. This how much, that's how much the order was worth. Transaction was 3 days ago, we're yet to invoice it. So in answer to the question of filtering, again, feel free to make your own report, but if you wanted to add a filter on here, going up to those three little dots and hitting a filter, you've then got a few different things in here. So we've already got one set for transaction in the last 3 years, which is just hitting add field. Sales transaction is where I would recommend starting these reports from. And then as you hit show more, you'll be able to find sort of delivery date as a filter you can use, transaction date. We've got invoice date in here somewhere as well. So you can sort of filter by a couple of different things you do within that process. And one of the other question we had was creating price tiers and bespoke pricing. That's a setting we have as well. So if we go and have a look at setting, I actually don't think we've done a webinar on this. That could be a nice suggestion for one we can go and do. So system settings. I'm sure if we search pricing, we'll get some results there. So here we go. So built-in customer pricing and discounts. Where you can either use the CRM pricing or use the account/ERP pricing. So if you're integrated to one of the more advanced systems like Unleashed, Unleashed has really in-depth pricing tiers where you can say this customer is a wholesaler and wholesalers get this product for this price. And if you set up that in Unleashed or Sin7's equivalent, Checkers, Operas, anything like that, once you click that option to use ERP pricing, we bring in all of that information, that entire pricing matrix. So whenever you add a product to a customer's quote, you get whatever price they're set up with. The other option then is to use the CRM pricing. So not all systems have inbuilt pricing. I don't think Xero, for example, has that. So you can use ours instead, where if you click this little icon, configure price bands, we then get sort of a whole sort of matrix in here that you can design. So we've got some existing already. But if I add a new one, you can call it a description, add a currency for it. And then as you go and edit these, you can add different products on different prices to go and see sorry, go and create sort of those different bands for different customers. So that's sort of the 40-second demo of it. And again, maybe a good webinar is in order for that because this can be sort of quite in depth there. And that was it for the existing questions. Like I said, there was a couple that we will come back to you on separately because I think there's a bit of back and forth needed. In terms of questions we've had since.
Yeah, we do have a couple of questions. One of them would be, hi, Alex and Daniela, are you sharing the recording of this webinar for our future reference? Yes, Mark, we are. You're probably going to receive an email afterwards, and you are also going to be able to see it on our YouTube channel. This is where we have all of the webinars that we've created so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So all available on YouTube. Also, if you look up in this question mark to the top right-hand side, you've got the Academy and the documentation as well. So if you're ever sort of stuck on something or want to learn more, I mean, even if you just look at this one for pricing or something, if you search the sort of documents for this, you'll get a ton of information on configuring the inbuilt pricing, bulk updating, special pricing, and different pieces as well. So, but yeah, that or the YouTube channel where we've got at least probably 30 different webinars on features now, I would have thought, over the last couple of seasons alone. And then another question, can you search and prospect for a client's quote by value alone? Yes, you cannot search by the global search for that. So this sort of search everything, but you could search so if you go over to sales and then quotes, you can search in here or filter your quotes by value. So if you wanted to maybe add a filter in here so we've got value excluding tax in here. Obviously you can use inclusive tax if you'd rather, but if I say base value excluding tax and then is or is greater than 10 or something like that, then obviously it's going to filter out those ones that are less than that. Add another couple of numbers on, and you'll sort of start getting the picture here as to the quotes we're going to return. So yes, that's one way of doing it. You might look at grouping. I think that's probably a little bit more complicated, but you can certainly search by that. And I think that is it. Unless anyone has any other questions or webinar suggestions, I think that's us done. I'll give everyone sort of 10 seconds of silence while we see if any more questions come in. Perfect. Okay, we'll call that a roundup then. You can submit any webinar requests on this link here. And obviously we've got that last one coming up in a few weeks as well. So if you wouldn't mind registering for that, that'll give us something to look forward to as well. So, and yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all very much for attending.
Thank you all. Bye.
Take care. Bye.